How to master practically anything. Master anything quickly. Mastery is not a matter of genetics or luck, but of following your natural inclinations and deep desires that stimulate you from within. Do you want to be successful? Or do you possess a skill that you've always wanted to learn but don't want to spend hours and hours of excruciating sweat and blood trying to master that skill? Dear viewers, if you appreciate the video and want to help us grow, we ask you to consider the idea of subscribing to our channel and making a donation to support us. Your support is essential for us and will allow us to continue creating interesting and useful content for you. You can do it here below, through the appropriate buttons, subscribe, and thanks. The best way to learn something is when we reach a state of flow, a mental state of operation in which a person performing an activity is fully immersed in a feeling of energy, concentration, full involvement, and enjoyment in the process. It's like when you're playing a video game that you really like and all your attention and concentration is on the game, nothing else matters. In essence, flow is complete absorption in what you're doing. You can also reach a state of flow while watching a sports game. Have you ever found yourself yelling at the TV while watching a game? You're completely involved and absorbed in the game. Nothing else matters except the game. The rest of the world will just have to wait. Most of us, when learning a new skill, tend to focus more on learning the theory and less on the application. This is unfortunately a bad habit we've picked up in school, and because of it, we always think of incredible ideas and things to do and less about applying them. We should use the 2/3 rule. Dedicate only 1/3 of the time to studying and the other 2/3 to application and practice. I'll tell you a short story. The other day I met my high school friend Zach in a local bar. I hadn't seen Zach for several months since we work and live in different cities. That day, Zach told me a very interesting story. He said that one Friday, while returning home after a busy work week, he and some colleagues decided to stop at a bar for a drink and to relax. While chatting, Zach noticed this young and attractive girl who was with her friends. He described her as a brunette in her 20s with the most captivating eyes and the most beautiful smile he had ever seen. He wanted to approach her, but there was a problem. You see, Zach isn't exactly a ladies' man. He's often shy and awkward with women. Even in high school, I remember he struggled to approach the girls he really liked. Anyway, at one point, Zach noticed the girl heading towards the bar counter and thought it was the perfect moment to approach her. After taking one last sip of his drink for courage, he headed towards the counter, said hello to her, and talked to her for a while, even making her laugh. In the end, they exchanged numbers. He was over the moon. To make a long story short, Zach and the girl met several times after that day and even started dating for a while, although the relationship didn't last long. Anyway, Zach was thrilled to have made a move that evening. I was really happy for my friend. He had actually watched videos and bought courses on how to approach women, but he had never put the teachings into practice. That evening was the perfect opportunity to test his new skills. You must challenge yourself and continuously test your abilities. Our brains have evolved to learn by doing things, not by listening to them. That's why, for many skills, it's much better to dedicate about 2/3 of the time to testing yourself and applying what you've learned, rather than just absorbing it. When we're learning something new, we want to challenge ourselves 60 to 80% of the time. This is the so-called comfort zone. More becomes too difficult and we give up, less becomes too easy and we get bored anyway. So it's essential to always raise the bar and avoid trivial and easy things that would make us quit. I'll tell you an episode. When I was in high school, I was fascinated by programming and coding and really wanted to learn how to create websites. After some research, I found this fantastic site called newboston.com, run by a guy named Bucky Roberts. I wanted to learn to program so much that, despite the initial learning phases of HTML and CSS being boring, after each tutorial, I learned something new that I applied to my simple website. It was difficult, but I liked the challenge, and seeing my website slowly take shape was absolutely worth it. In the end, within a few weeks, I managed to build decent websites that received my mother's approval. Throughout the time I was learning, I was in the comfort zone, without even realizing it. Commit for the long term. Rome wasn't built in a day, as the saying goes. You must commit and dedicate time. The difference between an average NBA player and a fantastic one is commitment. You must continue to refine and improve your skills. Those who combine commitment and practice will always see exceptional improvement in their abilities because they apply and master their skills continuously until they reach a level of mastery. Finally, the best way to learn is through a mentor. Seeing someone else achieve certain goals can be a great source of inspiration and motivation. That's how I started this YouTube channel. I saw someone else succeed and said to myself, why not me? Sure, my first channels didn't go well, but in the end, I made it. In the comments, share your direct experience related to the topic covered today. We want to learn more and will gladly respond to any questions. Comment to let us know how we can improve. Your like would make us happy. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next video.